For a time, we tried to contact him by radio, but no response.
Yes, y'all. Welcome back to the Saturday Brunch Bunch. 4 horsemen coming at you this week on the Dub Marks podcast. Gentlemen, how's everybody doing? How's it going? Everybody good?
Doing good.
Doing well.
Good week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So-so, Chris? Just
So-so.
Yeah. So-so. Yeah, I agree with that. It was definitely so-so. I am sick and tired of snow.
Yes, absolutely.
It's been ridiculous. More snow. More snow tomorrow, Sunday into Monday, and then so like potentially
Monday into Tuesday too. Yeah.
Yeah, another 8 inches total, 10 inches total. I'm over it.
And the problem is that the temperature is just so cold; it's not melting as much. So it's just all that's going to turn to ice, and then everything's going to lay on top of that too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. No doubt. So Valentine's Day is tomorrow, fellas.
Another day for me.
That's my question to y'all. Like,
but today's Desperation Day. That's Desperation Day.
How do you have Desperation Day in quarantine when you're single? I'm married for 10 years, so my Desperation Day is every day, right? I wake up every day, chucking those grenades, trying to get something to pop off. What do y'all do? Like, seriously.
We podcast.
That's good.
And that's pretty much it, because I mean, all you can do now, so like the dating apps like Bumble and Tinder and Match, they all switched over this year so you could do video chat. Normally you just text, but now they want you to do video chat to stay safe. And
listen, if I'm quarantined and we've been on Tinder and Bubble Chat and Bumblebee Tuna and every other dating app that's out there right now, and we've had a good conversation back and forth, and you're relatively close to me. Yeah, Valentine's Day, come on over. I got the thermometer. I'll temp check you when you come in. You can sign a waiver. Let me know where you've been the last 2 weeks. We're gonna get this. We will get this to end up in some physical attraction here, because this is
going bell to bell, huh?
Yeah, I mean, being single would be hard enough now because everything's just so virtual and swipe right, swipe left, check mark this, heart this, smiley face that, frown that. Like, yeah, so
it's easy on the bank account.
Yeah, y'all got it. Yeah, I mean, listen, I asked my wife, like, are we exchanging gifts this year? Like, I just want to know, because we know Valentine's Day to us normally isn't a big deal. It never has been since we started dating. So like, this wasn't one of those things that was super crucial to the relationship as far as buying gifts and everything else.
Then it shouldn't be a big deal for us, right?
No, I'm not saying it's a big deal for y'all. I'm just asking what y'all, as single men during quarantine, how are y'all, if you have somebody else, how are y'all getting that Valentine's Day love, during quarantine? Like, it's all virtual, like Demolition Man back in the day when the girl popped up on the screen. Some message alone, like, hey, because that is what it is. Like, oops, wrong number.
I'm trying to think of how my answer can stay family friendly.
Yeah.
This isn't a PG show. Like, nah, it's just like more. I don't envy anybody.
I go to Quaker Steak. I do that Thai boom boom knock.
Well, for everybody out there, tomorrow, Valentine's Day, if you got a Valentine, great. If not, don't worry about it. The holiday's overrated and just meant for capital consumption and greed anyway. So,
Absolutely.
all right, on to the shits and giggles. What do you guys want to get into in the intro before we hop on to the weekly topics?
To gaming news. Home Shopping Network is selling the PS5 for $1,300. So Home Shopping Network is in the scalping business officially. They have a bundle PS5 with an extra controller, Madden for PS4, and all these accessories, which comes up to like $30 because they're all third party. So
Wow.
officially, Home Shopping Network is in the scalping business.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then just Ratchet and Clank, they released the release date for it, and that's a hot PlayStation exclusive that everybody wants to see, especially with the Portal transfer and the SSD, and it comes out June 11th.
Yeah, I did you guys see customers weren't happy with GameStop this week over the restock?
No.
So they were able to get on and secure Xbox Series S, but with the PlayStation, so many bots got in there and gobbled up all the PlayStation 5s that came in for the restock. They weren't able to get it, so there were issues with the traffic on the site and everything else. So people were not happy with GameStop based on how that restock went.
My cousin just got his from GameStop, so I'm gonna have to see if he got a bot. Maybe spot him $2.
Yeah.
Let you use it.
Yeah. A couple of some other things I saw game wise. Hitman. Hold on.
Not that Hitman.
No, not that hit. Where'd he go? I don't know what happened to. Never mind. I'll see if I can pull it up in a minute. But Hitman 3, there's a with the cloud version for Nintendo. I got to get the article to come back up, but there's that Resident Evil a reboot is arriving in theaters on Labor Day. I don't know if anybody's heard anything about that. That was news to me. I didn't know that they were doing a reboot. And then I'm probably gonna pronounce this wrong. Ubisoft.
Ubisoft.
Mm-hmm. They made Assassin's Creed game free for a limited time. For PC.
Oh,
for PC.
Okay.
Yeah, for PC, that was the catch. It was only for PC. So if you weren't on the PC, sucks to be you. You had to carve up the cash. But PC, it was free. You could download the Assassin's Creed Chronicles China for free for the PC.
Okay.
All right. So
that one.
Yeah. I still wanna play Valhalla. I like the Assassin's Creed series. Those are ones that I enjoy. Even though not all of them, all the spinoffs have been that great, but the Valhalla one looks absolutely amazing. So
I heard good things about
that.
Yes,
to come in.
Yeah. I think that Chinese one was like a little DLC one that that came with the Russian one and the Louisiana one. It was like very, very small games that came out for like the Vita or something. Mm-hmm.
All right. On the movies and TV here, I don't know what you guys saw this week, but obviously during the Super Bowl, there were some trailers that dropped for movies that are getting ready to come out. We got the Fast and Furious 9 Super Bowl trailer with John Cena. There will be 10.
As Vin Diesel's brother?
Yes. As Vin Diesel's brother, yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jay, it's on YouTube, but I can share it with the group. And you can go on. It looks. Listen, I'm a sucker for Fast and Furious movies. Okay, one of my favorites is Tokyo Drift. Don't ask me why. Every time it comes on, I stop what I'm doing and watching it. I don't know. Maybe it's something about Bow Wow saying you can't just walk up into Kamada's place, man. That just get like I don't know. I like it, but this one looks good. I'll watch it. So there was that. They're doing a Wizard of Oz remake.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So what's old and what's old is now new again. And they're supposedly doing it. They're doing a Wizard of Oz remake. It's happening with New Line. Not too many details, but yeah.
I didn't even know New Line was still in business.
Yeah.
Disney probably owns it.
Man,
No, they need to leave that alone. That still holds up.
yes, it does.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. And then another not remake because it is a direct sequel, but Face Off with Nicolas Cage and John Travolta.
I did hear that.
I still haven't seen the first.
Yeah, sequel. So, and reportedly they're both rumored to be back on for the sequel, which is not a remake. So,
I would like to know how, but we'll leave that alone.
a couple other quick
Time travel.
I didn't mind Face Off. I like Face Off.
Oh yeah, Face Off is one of my top 10 movies from the 90s.
I hate
It's
Nicolas
great.
Cage, but that's one of the few movies I can tolerate him in.
Michael B. Jordan said he would return as Killmonger in Black Panther 2 if needed. So not sure how that's going to shake out or whether or not he.
Time travel.
Oh man,
that was announced.
didn't I tell you guys this years ago that this was going to come fight? It is lazy story writing.
So there's that, and then I don't know how much you guys watch or been on Disney Plus, but the Heaven's Gate, the Cult of Cults official trailer for HBO Max dropped. So I don't know if you remember the Heaven's Gate cult situation that broke out probably, I don't know if that was late 80s or early 90s, with the guy was super creepy. I remember. No, that was Waco.
Was like
Yeah, that was Waco.
This one
But,
was with the Hell Bob comment. I think it was like the mid 90s.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So that looks insane.
Was that where they were drinking the Kool-Aid?
Yes.
Yes.
You said Disney Plus for a second, and I was like, hold on.
Yeah, HBO Max. HBO Max.
Mhm. Yeah. It's the one where they was wearing all black in the bunk beds and all that stuff.
Um,
Cortez is
Yeah. So I would if
Black
you guys are into documentaries and like that, this is definitely one to check out. It'll be done really well, hopefully. But I don't have anything else as far as TV series, movies goes. I did watch WandaVision last night, episode 6. Man, it's
3 to go.
3 to go. Apparently, everything will be wrapped up in these 3 episodes. They came out and said that, so everything will be tied together by the end. By the end, I don't see how you just leave this show as being one season. But
this is supposed to tie into Doctor Strange. So
yeah, but Doctor Strange ain't coming out for another 2 years. So like, why you put it out now and then what?
You gotta remember.
Remember. You know how much stuff came out in this show that like
I can't remember what happened Monday, so
but yeah, so that's all I have from that front. I don't know if anybody has anything from snacks or anything else.
I got some snacks.
I do have one thing, and it's not necessarily a snack, but it is Jason's favorite go-to spot. So I wanted to let him know this before, he probably already knew because he got the ends. But McDonald's is bringing back the High C Orange.
I had that too. Yep.
yeah.
So-
I'm very excited about that.
Yeah. So I figured he would be on his P's and Q's with that, but I did see it and wanted to throw it out there just in case he wasn't aware.
Do you ever
But
get
that-
the High C Orange, or is it just Sprite every time you go?
I get the high C and I put a dash of Sprite in it.
Okay.
A little kick to it.
Orange Lava Burst Punch. So.
I can't do McDonald's. I can't.
My sister dropped off cheeseburgers on the step yesterday.
How long was it that you didn't have McDonald's? You didn't have it for a while. How long was it that you didn't have McDonald's? Because you didn't have it.
Oh, it was like the whole
year
since COVID, and then what is it like last month? I had some.
Well,
your stomach had to be in shambles.
Nah, I'm good, man.
Oh, you got that iron
here.
He does have the iron stomach. He eats. When we went to Dallas for WrestleMania, he got airport Chinese before we got on the plane.
Oh no, absolutely not. No,
the iron gullet.
No,
that's not a beer belly. That's a tank full of whoop ass, right?
Chris, what you got?
Did everybody see the new name for Aunt Jemima?
Yeah, I did see that.
So it's very generic. It's gonna be called the Pearl Milling Company. Like I thought it was the Aldi's brand whenever I saw the picture. They do have a thing that says Aunt Jemima on it.
Same great taste as Aunt Jemima.
Yeah, I think June they said you'll start seeing it in stores. But
I use log cabin syrup anyway, so
Popeyes last year it was the big chicken sandwich wars. Everybody was going to Popeyes to try their chicken sandwiches. They announced this week that they're going to release a Cajun flounder fish sandwich. So it'll be the same type of bun and everything they put on the chicken sandwich, just with a fish patty instead. So we'll see if that sparks anything this year.
I've never had the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Same here.
I've had the regular. I haven't had the spicy chicken.
Nope. There is a Popeyes. There is a Popeyes that just got built over by me. Over by Kennywood. There is one there, so maybe I'll venture down and get it. I don't know. Like I've had Popeyes once in my life, and I didn't think it was that great.
Same here.
So
I like their chicken tenders. That's the reason why I go there whenever I'm in the mood for that. But just speaking of fish sandwiches and everything, this week starts Lent. So if you like fish fries, and whether you get them from your churches or from your fire halls, they're all going to kick off next week. They'll probably have 2 Ash Wednesdays on this upcoming Wednesday, and then every Friday from then on.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do it. I know there was on the news this past week. They had a couple spots that they went to interview for like COVID protocols and everything else, trying to keep people socially distanced and everything else. Fish fries are a big deal around here in the Pittsburgh area. It's an often heated debate. I know North Braddock, that fire hall, you got to get up there ASAP or else you ain't getting one.
Don't catch deep fried COVID.
But yeah, definitely Swiss Bells, Westwood over by me, the golf course. They got a great Lent menu, and their fish fry kicks off Wednesday, but their overall Lent menu is ridiculous. So check them out.
Also Nick Fish. Hey, people be going for that. There be lines outside for the McFish.
Hey, it's a good deal. It is a good deal.
2 for $5.
Wendy's fish sandwich is better than McDonald's fish sandwich.
I've never had it. I'm going to have to try it. Never had it.
I know we hated on Arby's a few weeks ago, but Arby's fish isn't bad either.
Yes, they are.
We're going to keep hating on Arby's.
All right. We got a little
let's go into our game.
Three or little teaser for one got to go at the end of the show. What do we got kicking off here?
Yeah, so this week's coming off of last week's one gotta go, and Jason's hate towards the Mario series.
Horrible takes from these two down below.
We're gonna go with which was the best classic Nintendo console out there out of these 4. So the classic NES, the Super Nintendo, GameCube, or 64.
So I'll go first because this is real easy for me. Never had a GameCube, didn't have a 64, didn't have a Super Nintendo, did play all three of those, but didn't have them as a personal, excuse me, personal console for myself. But yeah, give me the classic NES all day long. Not even a hesitation with that. This is easy.
Go, Jason.
Okay, I'm gonna go with memories off this one. So,
What a contradiction.
GameCube gets out automatically. The original NES, memories with my brother. The SNES, memories with Dawn. The 64, memories with myself. And I choose me. I'm going with the 64.
That was just a whole screw you to everybody else.
Pretty much.
Jay's theme of the weekend is me, so we know where that goes.
All right. I never had a Super Nintendo. I did play it a few times. Never had a GameCube, but my cousin had it. Wasn't a big fan of that. Had regular NES and had 64. But it's gonna, as much as I love 64, it all comes down to if the original Nintendo system didn't take off and wasn't as popular as it was, we wouldn't have had any of the other systems. So I mean, I still go back and play original Mario Brothers all the time. So I'm going with classic NES.
I mean, there's so many games from the classic NES system that are just iconic for so many reasons.
Oh yeah,
I mean, you know, Duck Hunt, the Paperboy, the Blades of Steel. It's just you can sit here and rattle off.
I love Burger Time too back in the day.
But if you play them right now, you get annoyed real fast. You probably give up.
No, I
still play my mini that I got a few years ago.
Yeah, I'll still play Paperboy. Listen, there was nothing better than being on that living room floor, laying down on your stomach with that orange and gray gun, trying to click, hit them ducks, boy.
They need to bring that back. That's what we need is Duck Hunt to come back for something.
Me and my brother got the NES with the Duck Hunt edition. Didn't come with a gun.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's 2021. Times have changed, and people would want to cancel Nintendo because they're being bullied by the dog after they missed a duck. So, all right. But let us know what you guys think out of these four. Which one's your favorite? I don't like terrible takes. Skip.
Skip terrible takes.
Skip. What do you got, Skip? That's what I'm calling you from now on. Not now. I'm calling you Skip. Your terrible takes.
Well, for me, I had all four of them, and to be honest, I love all four of them. But for me, I will take the Super Nintendo because the Super Nintendo, when it came out, it felt special. I mean, the NES felt special when it came out. That was my second system. Tell you my age right there. But something about the Super Nintendo feels special about it. It ranks up there with like the PS4, ranks up there with the PS2. Like all the systems are good, but some are just special.
So I was time when Street Fighter got heavy play.
Yeah, Street Fighter 2, but I was a Sega kid, so
I had Sega too. Yeah,
it was Team Sega in my house instead of Super Nintendo. Going back and forth off the original Nintendo NES system. So
how I did it was I had the Sega. I used the Sega for my sports games, and I used the Super Nintendo for my fighting games.
Okay,
so that's how I balanced it out between that generation.
All right. Anything else for the intro before we hop into this week's segments?
There's a huge rush on trading cards, which is getting annoying. Seems to be the new fad right now since nobody can get out, like your shoe flippers and all that stuff. Quick money.
It's because people our age all have kids that are at that age where they collect. So like
it ain't for the kids.
No, but growing up, we collected cards. Like, I mean, that was the big thing. And then it went away, and you didn't hear nothing about it. And now it's back because all of us, like I said, we have kids now that are at that age. So it's like, telling them what we were into and everything else, and it's just that circle coming back around. So now, there's a lot of money out there in the card market. The Don't know how long it will last. I know I have some original.
Is over.
I have some original edition Pokemon cards to go through to check out price wise and stuff that are in sheets that have been in sheets. So I'm a rainy day fund might get cashed in here sooner rather than later.
Is it all cards or is it just like game cards like a Pokemon?
The sports card.
No, it's pretty but it's pretty much across the board. Just collecting cards again is back to being that.
Except for Magic, they always get the short end of the stick.
But yeah, no, cards in general, it's popping off again like it did back when we were younger. Hopping on the bikes, riding over to the card store over by Arby's in Swissvale.
Yep.
And going in, trading cards, whatever, re-upping, looking at the catalogs, trying to see where you were at, what you got for it, so on and so forth.
Or the Swissvale convenience store where you could go into the machine, put the quarter in, then you get a couple cards out, try to win the prizes every week.
I went and checked on my I have a 92 mint condition Jordan MVP hologram card from Upper Deck. I was like, okay, it's been this long. Let's see how much it is. I have it in the case and everything. $20.
Oh, okay.
I was like, okay.
The cards of our year are depreciating. Everything now is going up through the roof.
Yeah. So, all right, let's hop into the rest of this week's show.
All right.
Bueller.
All right, gentlemen. So how do we feel with this week in wrestling?
So no intro for the bell to bell segment. Technical difficulties there. That's what I was waiting for. That's why I was like, nope, just the 4 dumb marks on screen. Good transition. Good transition. This show's going well today.
We got Desperation Day and Valentine's Day on the mind.
All right, well, let's get into it. Wrestling this week, bell to bell. Where do you want to start? Raw and SmackDown?
Start at the beginning.
Let's start at the beginning, yeah.
I think I've come to the conclusion that Raw is just a terrible show that's going to continue to be terrible. And I have to just go into it with the expectation of just like mindless, somewhat entertaining me for a certain period of time on a Monday night if I don't have anything else to do. I know Bully Ray and Dave LaGreca talked about this a little bit this week on their show on Busted Open, but Dave LaGreca was like, if I'm watching Police Academy, I know what I'm getting whenever I'm watching Police Academy. I'm getting mindless comedy. I'm getting silly stuff. Some of it will entertain me, some of it won't. I'll get some of it. The other parts I won't. But it'll be on the TV, and if I'm sitting there watching it for a little bit, I'll watch it. But if I got to get up and leave and do something, I'll get up and leave. And I think that's the approach you got to take with Raw right now. I don't see how you could possibly have high expectations for this show on a week-to-week basis because it's just not there.
Yeah, it's not a good show up and down the line.
No.
I watched it and I was like truly disappointed with it.
I haven't had high expectations for Raw in years.
I'm invested in the U.S. run because I'm sold on this version of Bobby Lashley.
This was the Bobby Lashley that I wanted whenever he first came in.
Yeah. I never liked Bobby Lashley, but the last 2 weeks he's been selling me. I want this guy.
I don't know where they're going with it, because to me he came in and you should have had him doing this and had him and Brock go at it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what everybody wanted to see.
Yeah.
What's up, Steph? Thanks for saying hi. But yeah, this is the version that I wanted to see. I have no idea where it goes with it. You have him versus Lee and Riddle at Elimination Chamber for the belt. So yeah, the Hurt Business is pretty much the best thing on Raw right now.
I do agree.
Yeah. Yes.
Me, yes.
Yes.
They got the tag team. They got the U.S. title.
They all have gotten good to strong character work over this time since they've been together. They all play off each other well. And like you said, you're getting the best versions of the people that are in the group, whether it's Shelton, whether it's Cedric. When's the last time you cared about Cedric Alexander before he got into the Hurt Business?
Very
When he was
little
cruiserweight champ. When he was cruiserweight champ.
So yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's so yeah, there's that. But I mean, a lot of Raw made no sense.
No.
But again, that's a recurring theme.
Lacey ended up getting a title shot, even though she didn't win, but she got a title shot. So,
and what they said, rumors say that she'll win the title off of Asuka and take it to Mania, and Charlotte will beat her for the title.
It's something different. I don't mind it. It's something different.
It's different, but like the story's not about Lacey though. It's about Rick and Charlotte. So like
Charlotte doesn't constantly need to be in the title. That's why I like this story with Charlotte and Lacey, was because it wasn't for the title. It was like I like the story, but Charlotte doesn't constantly need to be in the title picture.
Yeah, no.
It's like I don't know. Asuka's good as it is, and I mean I know she's coming up on a year with the championship. So that's probably why they're trying to figure out a way to get it off of her. But it's not broken, so don't try to fix it. You don't have anybody really right now that's really like to stand out to take it off of her.
And then you have the announcement, oh hey, these are the participants in the Elimination Chamber. Nothing had to be done. These are the guys that are in it. Shane McMahon comes out trying to get a little pop in a rating. But they didn't even announce Shane was going to be on the show, so I don't know if that did any good beforehand.
I think he came back because he's going to have a match at Mania. I think that was the start of him coming back more.
And then he comes back and he announces like a 2009 remake of an Elimination Chamber match. I don't care about one single person in this chamber, and that's bad because AJ Styles is in this match.
There's something I want to see because it's for the title. It's different. It's not for number one contendership. So,
but then you put Sheamus in here too, and does that like diminish their feud?
That's screw. Yeah, that screws Sheamus. So what? Drew's gonna win the chamber, but it's good. This is gonna kick off him versus Sheamus at Mania. Whenever Sheamus's turn last week or 2 weeks ago is what did that.
Yeah.
So what's the point? You're just having the match just to have the match.
Yeah.
That's the problem with these pay-per-views. We've covered this before. It's just like whenever you
too many.
When you put these like Elimination Chamber every February, so you're just doing the match to do the match. It's not setting up a storyline to get there.
Right. Don't you have like Fastlane like right before Mania too?
3 weeks before Mania is Fastlane.
Yeah. So there's another pay-per-view in between Rumble and Mania.
But what I don't get is when you look at the two shows, Raw and SmackDown, right? And if you just look at it from what they did on each show this week for an Elimination Chamber match, SmackDown has me way more invested in their chamber match based off of what they did last night.
But doesn't SmackDown have you more interested, period?
Well, yeah, it does. I mean, obviously SmackDown's the better show. But I mean, just the way that they went about it, like I get Pierce putting Jay and KO in. That's understandable. The way they did that opening segment, set it up. I enjoyed all that. Enjoyed Roman saying, "Hey, I'm not in this match. You don't tell me I'm in this match. I'll face whoever wins right after the match because I'm the head of the table. I call the shots. I run the show. So I'm cool with that. Again, storyline, adding layers to the character, right?
Yeah.
And then you have two matches throughout the rest of the show that continues the thread of setting up the chamber match, and you get Cesaro and Daniel Bryan, and then the other match was
Sammy and Baron.
So it was night and day when you look at how they got to the participants in the Elimination Chamber for both shows, and it's just a blaring, shining spotlight as to why Raw is terrible and why SmackDown is more entertaining.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really wondering who they're going to have face Roman, because with this, you could do something different. I don't need Owens to win again, and I know that's probably where it's going that night. But I would love to see Cesaro win it.
Owens hasn't suffered a clean loss yet in this feud.
Yeah.
Every time Roman's beat him on 3 pay-per-views, and every time Roman's beat him, it's been due to some type of shenanigan or interference. So if you have Owens win the Chamber, and then he puts up a super babyface comeback against all odds type fight against Roman, and then it's just too much, and Roman finally puts him down clean in the middle of the ring, then you can end the feud, and Owens is elevated. Like Owens has been elevated back to being a top star guy on a show, a main eventer. If you want to do it where Daniel Bryan, or like you said, Chris Cesaro, who's rumored to be getting a big push now, maybe because he just re-upped and it was promised to him on that contract signing, hey, we'll give you the push that we never did before. But
I mean, the past few weeks he's had some great matches. So
I mean, he always has great matches.
Cesaro, for years he's had great matches. But I liked last night, him and Seth starting a feud.
That would be a good feud.
I think that's great. So I mean, I think you could have Cesaro win, Seth cost him the match, and then that pushes their storyline to Mania.
But I also thought, because Seth eliminated Daniel Bryan from the Rumble, so I thought that's where they were going with that.
I forgot about that.
I think ultimately we're going to get Edge versus Roman at Mania. From everything that I've seen rumor-wise, and that's what it's going to be.
Edge and Drew just doesn't make sense.
No.
And SmackDown's getting the more views anyways, and if this is your true main event, you need to put it where you're going to maximize the viewership on it.
Yeah, the only thing that I did not like last night, which I really didn't understand too much, was Nia and Shayna coming out for Bianca and Sasha's segment. Like I didn't
like that.
Get it? Don't involve the women's tag team titles in the storyline to set up Sasha and Bianca. You don't need that.
Yeah.
If this was earlier if this was early last year, and you did that when they were like legit tagging together, that's one thing. Not doing push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like they just want to do something with the titles. That's it. The tag titles.
To me, it just seemed like, okay, Sasha's going to turn on Bianca, and that's what's really going to set up their match. Like, it just seemed very generic booking.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I thought SmackDown was entertaining. I really liked the Big E and Apollo Crews stuff.
I got to go back and watch that.
Yeah, they had a good back and forth with it. I'm intrigued to see how that goes and where that plays out. Big E was like, go back to catering and collect your paycheck. I'm done. I was like, oh, okay, this is the Big E. I'm getting it. Like, let's go. I'm all for that. Like, so
I can see another like triple threat or fatal 4-way for the IC belt set up with that.
And him and Nakamura had a great match last night.
Yes, he did.
So yeah,
that was one of the things I saw online during SmackDown last night. Was everybody seemed to think Nakamura was going to get put in the Elimination Chamber, and there was I mean, not a lot of backlash, but I did see some people pretty upset that he wasn't getting a shot in there. But it didn't make sense. They already had 3 faces, 3 heels, so.
Yeah, I was entertained by SmackDown last night, as I am pretty much on a weekly basis. So where I was going to be, if I throw it on, I'll throw it on, but I'll stick to recaps and fast forward and DVR if I need to.
Day and night.
Yep. So anything else from main roster wise during the week? All right. Let's get into Wednesday night. The Forbidden Door kicked open officially on Dynamite. What do you guys think? Did you watch the show? Did you enjoy the show?
I fast forwarded through the whole show.
Good show.
I thought it was a good show. I liked the main event.
Start to finish, they had a ton of storyline
I watched
Interesting
Thunder
storyline.
Rosa. I watched that match,
Yeah.
which was good. I just fast forwarded to the rest.
They had a ton of character work and storyline on this show for a lot of different pieces and to the puzzle, and everything set up something else moving forward, which I like on my wrestling shows. Whether it's the main event or it's, Jungle Boy and Jurassic Express versus FTR, like, you're setting stuff up, you're giving everybody a story, and it makes it a more entertaining show from start to finish. So
I do feel that we need to be more focused on building up to Revolution right now than what we are. I feel like that's a little lax. Like Sting and Darby Allin's match against Team Taz, that's getting promoted constantly, but not as much for anything else yet.
So I saw potential rumors this morning that the Young Bucks will lose the belts to Santana and Ortiz to set up an Inner Circle feud, and then the Young Bucks will feud with the Good Brothers.
I saw that too. I would actually be a little bit interested if they went that route. It would shake things up.
It would be an abrupt end to the Young Bucks run.
Yeah.
The Inner Circle stuff has me intrigued. Like, Sammy Guevara is coming out of this as a huge baby face. And when his music hit and he came out Wednesday night, the cheers that he got, it was like, they completely with using one guy, MJF, right?
Mm-hmm.
One guy made Sammy Guevara, who people hated and was cocky and arrogant and just a little prick, for lack of a better word, into a babyface in a matter of a couple weeks to a month.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, top to bottom, it was a great show. The main event was a car crash. They let you knew it was going to be a car crash. I like how they used multiple referees because it was false count anywhere. So you have 4 people in the match, 2 people are off somewhere else wrestling or fighting, and 2 people are somewhere else. One referee. It's going to be hard to follow. I like how they had multiple referees get involved and follow the match and the action where it went to actually count a pinfall if there was a pinfall attempted.
They said it was it reminded them of old WWE Attitude Era, like Falls Count Anywhere hardcore match.
And they gave it time. That's the thing I love the most about it. They gave, like, that match, they start coming out like at 9:30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was good. Whether we continue to see Kenta, who knows? Him and Moxley will face off on the 26th.
Yeah. So we got 2 weeks.
Yeah, they'll face off on the 26th for the IWGP US title. But yeah, top to bottom, strong show. Cody's a little banged up, something with his shoulder, potentially has a partial tear in his rotator cuff. He said it won't affect him for his match with Shaq. So I don't know if you'll see him doing much in-ring work leading up to that match on Dynamite the Wednesday before the pay-per-view.
Well, Shaq's not going to be doing any in-ring work during that match, so it's
yeah. But no, I mean, like I said, the key to Dynamite this week was storyline, and it was for multiple people at multiple levels of the card, and they put forward a lot of different moving pieces on the chessboard, which I enjoy and makes you got to pay attention from start to finish of the show. So, kudos to them with that. NXT, what do you guys got from NXT Wednesday night?
I mean, we covered this last night with the prediction show. So yeah, if you didn't see our prediction show last night, go back and watch that. It's on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We kind of covered all our predictions for TakeOver Vengeance Day tomorrow. So yeah, I mean, we kind of covered yesterday that a lot of Dusty Classic, a little fatigued from that. Anything that we didn't cover yesterday that you guys thought?
There was nothing else that we didn't. I mean, from
Yeah.
last night, what we
Pretty
said,
much
like
something.
I didn't have anything else to add. I wasn't sure if you guys did. So yeah, go back on YouTube and watch the prediction show for Takeover for tomorrow for Vengeance. There for the breakdown with that. Couple other quick pieces outside of AEW and WWE. New Japan, the NJPW on the Roku channel kicked off on the 11th. You were able to watch the international television premiere of Wrestle Kingdom 14. That was one of the big things that they put out to get people interested in tuning in on the Roku channel.
It's very much like what they were doing when they were first on Access TV, where they just took some matches and just spliced them together on a card. So the interesting thing, which I was surprised, is that they actually uploaded 10 episodes. So they pretty much uploaded the whole Wrestle Kingdom 14 card. And so you have 10 episodes to watch, and then next week they haven't said what they're uploading yet, but there'll be more content. And so each episode is basically one match and then their post event interview press conference. So, and then I heard that they were doing subtitles with the interviews, which Access TV used to do as well. So it's trying to make it a little bit easier content for the American fan base to watch.
Yep. So there's that. I would definitely tune in. New Japan's a good product. Jay White, since he's come back, Switchblade has cut some really good promos. I don't know if they're going to build up and do an eventual Bullet Club versus Bullet Club. They're the Bullet Club in New Japan right now. Their tagline is "Our Era," to differentiate themselves from the previous Bullet Club era that had Kenny, Nick, Matt, the Good Brothers. So yeah, we'll see how that shakes out. But
did any of you guys watch the post event interview from AEW this week? It had it was with Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers and Don Callis. It was just a couple minutes, but it was basically kind of saying stuff like that, like like someone asked like the question, like the Bullet Club's been talking trash on you guys, like how do you feel about that? And they kept saying we have no hard feelings towards them, those are our brothers, and go continue buy their merch. It's listed number 40 on Pro Wrestling Tees now, but continue to buy their merch. They're a bunch of good guys. No one knows any of their names, but they're a bunch of good guys over there. And I think like Kenny said, well, Kent is one of them, and they go, yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah, buy his merch too. And it was just kind of like them, like slowly giving them the backhand, with trying to praise them at the same time.
Right. Some other news, across the pond coming out of Japan wrestling scene. The Great Muta is wrestling Noah's champion, heavyweight champion. He won it at Destination 2021 at Budokan Hall. He is 58 years old. But I think if you watch it and you see it, it makes sense. It's the Great Muta. Like, it's one of the best to ever do it. Regardless of any promotion that you watch, he is the third man to hold the top prize in All Japan, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and Noah. So congratulations to the Great Muta.
How you feel about Legends, man?
I mean, Donald, like, I don't know if you have any take on this or not. I don't know how much Pro Wrestling Noah you watch.
Well, over there they don't throw it in your face all the time.
No.
Yeah.
But it's also
it's not like hey buddy, I need a quick rating real quick. Why don't you come on the show?
Yeah, and it's different culturally too, with elders and individuals that are older, like the respect factor that's shown towards your whether it's older family members, so on and so forth. So like it's a different. I think it comes off completely different because of the cultural differences between Japan and here in the States when it comes to that. So I don't see it being as big of a detriment as it would be if it was something that would be done here in the States.
I think I don't know. I don't remember what title it was that he held. I don't know if it was the NWA title or if it was the WCW championship. He held one of those.
WCW.
WCW. Okay. I think he might be the first man to hold all those New Japan titles plus the American WCW championship too.
Yeah. So congratulations to him. One of the best to do it. And then Impact. We have No Surrender tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't do a special breakdown. I figured we can run through the card real quick since it was kind of a slower week in wrestling. If we wanted to, and just give quick predictions on the card itself. I don't know, Chris, if you got it pulled up, or I can get it pulled up and we can run through the card itself.
I got it pulled up.
All right. It's a good card.
Yeah. I'll just go from the bottom to the top that's listed here. So a 6-person tag team match. You have the Decay of Black Taurus, Crazy Steve, and Rosemary versus Tennille Dashwood and Triple XL of AC Romero and Larry D.
So, Donald, Jason, I don't know how much you guys have been keeping up on Impact or watching of Impact, but Tuesday night, Decay debuted Black Taurus from AAA. If you're not familiar with him, go watch him.
Yeah.
That was a bull guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Is a complete savage in the ring. Presentation wise, look wise, it's a tremendous visual. He comes out, he fits right in with that group with Decay, with Rosemary and Crazy Steve, and their otherworldly presentation of themselves in that faction. He works tremendously, but he can go in the ring and presentation wise, looks wise, it's just he comes out and you just look and you go, oh shit, like it's gonna pop off. This is about here. He's gonna cause some damage. So excited to see that and where that goes. Hopefully it's not just this one off and he sticks around for a little bit, because I do think he's a name that people can learn and will like more the longer he sticks around. But with that being said, I'm going to go with Decay to pick up the win here over Tennille and Triple XL.
I agree. I think I'm going to go with the Decay. They kind of seem to be pushing the Decay again, especially with Crazy Steve and Rosemary lately. Next, we'll go up to a 6 knockout tag team match of Jordan Grace, Jazz, and ODB versus Deonna Purrazzo, Kimberly, and Susan. I saw Susan, but I haven't watched anything yet with her. How's she been?
It's tremendous. Tremendous. She comes off as like the manager or corporate boss that is real strict by the book and follows the letter of the law to the T, and will go up to the CEO to voice her opinion and demand that she gets what she wants. She's been great. Character-wise, like, you go from Sue Young to Susie, now to Susan. So you've presented that character 3 different ways, like the 3 faces of Foley. All 3 are different. All 3 have their own niches, their own personalities, intricacies. The way she moves in the ring with all 3 is different. Like, I mean, she was taking off her shoe and throwing them at people on Tuesday night. Like, it's all different. Like, nothing is the same between any of the 3, even though it's one person doing all 3 characters. I'm super high on her. I loved her as Sue Young. Like, that character was so different from anything that I've seen previously, and the way that she's evolved, and now she can go back and call back to any of the 3 characters depending on storyline or what the circumstances call for. Like, she's just been tremendous in her role going forward with this. And we got Susan because Deanna Praza and Kimberly made a deal with James Mitchell to transform Sue Young back to Susie. And when he tried doing that, he got Susan instead. So that's how Susan got into the picture.
And that's what happens whenever you get James Mitchell involved. You never know.
Yeah, but this has been a good setup. They've worked a nice story with these 6 leading up to the match. It makes sense to have the triple threat match here. They brought ODB in a couple weeks ago to make a save. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. I think Deanna, Kimber, and Susan will pick up the win in this match over the baby faces.
I'm glad to see ODB back. You know, she's a great talent. She was been part of the Knockouts division since its inception. Was Knockout champion and tag champ.
When they brought her back a couple of weeks ago, after she came out and made the save because Jordan Grace and Jazz were getting beat up by Deanna and Kimber and Susan, they showed a quick backstage segment afterwards, and Jazz is like, "What the hell are you doing here?" And ODB was like, "I had my food truck sitting outside serving catering to the boys, and I saw that you guys were in trouble." So, it makes so much sense from the character in that. So yeah, but I see the baby faces taking a loss here.
Yeah. I'll go with Jordan Grace, Jazz, and ODB getting at this in this match. I like ODB and Jordan Grace and Jazz, so I'm just going to go with them for that reason.
I'll go with them also, just because I know the names.
I know Jazz has come out and said that this is kind of like her last run before she retires, but more people need to put more respect on Jazz's name for what she's done in the business. She's been a champion everywhere she went and has done tremendous things for women's wrestling, but you don't hear her name mentioned as much as you do with some of the other ones from that era, whether it's Trish or Lita or Gail Kim. I think you need to throw Jazz's name on that list.
They never gave her the right personality and the right character during that era, but her in-ring work spoke for itself no matter what.
Yep.
All right, next we're going to go into a singles match of, is this really his name, Jake something?
Yeah, that's it.
Jake something versus Diener.
So, with this match, leading up into this, how we got here, Eric Young and his group, Violence by Design, he's taking people over and showing them what their true reality should be. He did it with Cody Diener, who's now just Diener. But showed him, hey, you guys used to come out as like these backwoods hillbilly guys that like to drink beer, and you thought, people were laughing with you, but they were laughing at you, and become your true self and your true form. And so Cody Diener is completely transformed into a different individual. And Jake Diener, who was Cody's cousin, and the tag team they formed, Eric Young and them, they went out and made him an offer and said, come join us, come realize who you are and what you can be and reach your truest potential. And they've beaten him up for a couple weeks and everything, and finally gave him an ultimatum. And Tuesday night, they got into the ring and said, hey, what's your answer? What's your response? And he said that if a man doesn't stand for something, he doesn't stand for anything. So in that case, he's now Jake something.
Okay.
So, but it's been a good story. I like what they've done here. I don't think this will be the end of it. I don't see Jake winning either. So I think you'll get a continuation of the story moving forward. And I'll go with Diener for the win over Jake something.
I don't know either of these guys, so I'm not even going to give a take.
I'll go with Diener because of the name. Sounds like something out of like a 90s something.
Next, we're to go into a Texas Tornado no disqualification match for the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship. The champions are Fire and Flava, Kiera Hogan, and Tasha Steelz versus Havoc and Nevaeh.
Yeah, this is a continuation from the women's knockouts tag team tournament that took place. Tasha and then Fire and Flava won it to become knockouts champion, and this is just a continuation for a rematch. The story leading up to this has been great. Tasha and Kiera pulled off a Ja Rule Fighter Fest type celebration. They call it their Flava and Fire Festival. They had sliced cheese in styrofoam boxes as catering, and it was done so well. Like, it was perfect. But yeah, I don't see that. I don't see Tasha and Kiera losing. They just got the straps. Let them run with it for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I expected Havoc and Nevaeh to win the titles. That was my pick going into that tournament. Don't have a problem with Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz having the titles. I think that they're going to do great things with it. But yeah, they just got it. They're not taking the titles off of them just yet. Let's go. You need to explain this one, Steve. A triple threat revolver match to determine the number one contender to the Impact X Division Championship. Yep. We have Ace Austin, Blake Christian, Chris Bay, Daivari, Josh Alexander, Suicide, Trey Miguel, and Willie Mack.
Yeah, so there's eight participants in the match total, but it'll be wrestled under triple threat rules. So it'll be 3 guys in the ring at once. The other 5 guys will be around the ring. They can tag in and out as you would in any other match that kind of has this stipulation. I think it's a different take on like a triple threat or a Texas Tornado style match. Kudos for Impact coming up with something different. I don't know how it'll come off, as the match unfolds. I like the idea of it. Chaos and mayhem. It's going to be fast paced and nothing but action. They had a 8-man tag match between the 8 of them this week on Impact. The good guys versus the bad guys, 4-on-4. Trey Miguel won that match, and he's groomed to be feuding with Sami Callihan coming out of this. So I don't know if he'll win the number one contendership spot out of this match, but look for this to be match of the night on the card tonight. I think it's going to be really good.
Is this one fall to a finish, or is this elimination?
I believe it's one fall to a finish.
Okay.
I don't think it's elimination. So
you said 8 teams and triple threat rules.
There's eight men, right? But it's being contested with like, it's kind of a combination of a triple threat and a Texas Tornado match.
Okay.
So you'll have 3 people legal in the ring at any time, but any of the other 5 outside can tag in and come in at any point in time.
Okay.
So
different, very different.
Yeah.
It's different. Yeah, it is different.
Yeah.
I think it's a way. I think it's a way to get more people on the card. It's a good way to showcase some of the talent that may be not known, like Blake Christian. If you haven't watched Impact, he's a name to get to know. I think he might be one of their newer signees or potential signee. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of talent in this match, and it should be really good. I have no clue who's going to win this.
Now, they're all individual.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I was thinking like as a tag.
No,
Okay.
everybody. Yeah, all individual. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is different. Like I said, I really enjoy the concept. Impact every once in a while they will throw out something different from a match standpoint. We'll see how this plays off. I mean, if it works, kudos to them. If it doesn't, you scrap it and you don't do it again.
It's like an Adam Lee original.
There's a
so this one, put the names in the hat, draw one out, and you might stand a good chance to win because you can make a case for just about every single person in this match.
The 2 that stand out for me, I'm a big Ace Austin fan. I think that kid's got talent. I mean, he's been X Division champion already and has had numerous spots on Impact with that. But then there's also Josh Alexander, coming off of being the North with Ethan Page. What's his future holding? This could be an interesting way to push him more.
So I think Josh Alexander, to me, should be somebody that turns out by the end of 2021 to be a huge star. Just the presentation, the look, the way he works in the ring, and he can talk on the mic. He'll only get better on the mic with time. I know Ethan Page was more of the mouthpiece in that group, but he can talk on the mic some.
Yeah.
And then Chris Bay, like we talked about old versus young with AEW and WWE as far as like roster and who's getting pushes and whatnot. Impact, they have a lot of young talent that's like homegrown Impact talent. Whether it's Ace Austin, Chris Bay just turned, I think, 24 or 25. Like, these are people that are going to be in your main event scene for a long time if you can keep them on your roster. So yeah, look for Alexander to put on a showing. Ace Austin will look good. Chris Bay, I like Chris Bay a lot. But I think the one standout in this will be Trey Miguel, just from what he's done so far since he's been back. He's come back with a new intensity. He doesn't have any of the Rascals baggage on him as far as anything he does in the ring. He's one with submissions, which is different for his character. He's super creative in the ring. The stuff that he comes up with is like, it's on like, he's on level with like a Ricochet in the ring or a Phoenix in the ring as far as creativity and what he can do. So if you're looking for some moves that will make you go, oh shit, or have your mouth dropped open, this is definitely a match to watch.
Yeah. All right, next we'll go into a tag team match of Eddie Edwards and Matt Cardona versus Brian Myers and Hernandez. This is an odd match since I haven't been watching.
Yeah, you haven't been watching. It's been set up. So it started out with a feud between Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards. Brian Myers was supposed to face Eddie Edwards one-on-one, but he switched it up and paid off Hernandez to take out Eddie Edwards. That then led to Matt Cardona running in and making the save, and hence how we got to this tag team match for the show. So
because he's always ready.
He's always ready. Yep. Yep. So yeah, I'm glad to see that they're feuding Cardona and Myers instead of just putting them together.
Something different.
Something different. But yeah, this is it's your like your typical middle of the card tag team match that you would see on a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Even though it's an Impact special, but yeah, like it has a story behind it. It's not just a match thrown to be on the card. There is a story behind it, so and go with that there. I gotta say, I'll go with Cardona and Eddie to pick up the win.
Okay, I'm not even gonna give a take since I'm not too familiar with the storyline at all. So we'll go into the X Division Championship. Champion TJP. So they finally unveiled that it was him.
Yeah, they Scott D'Amore, Rahit Raju, who TJP's facing, wanted D'Amore to strip TJP because it was proven all along that TJP was manic. And
Surprise.
And Scott D'Amore was like, Scott D'Amore basically said, "Hey, dumbass, we all knew it was TJP. I'm not going to strip him of the belt. You're the only one that made a big issue out of this." So
yeah, I also see that Mahabala Shira's back. He's
yes, he is
now. Okay.
Yes, he is.
I like him.
He came back. He is I don't know if it's because Rohit is the size that he is as far as height wise goes, but when he stands next to or behind Rohit, like he just looks so massive.
He's a big dude.
I mean, I don't know like how tall he actually is. He gotta be like 6'4", 6'5". And is
6'2", 242.
That's it? 6'2"? See, he looks so much bigger. But yeah, Rohit brought him back as his muscle.
Okay.
So whether or not that leads
pairing.
Yeah, it's a great pairing. It just adds on to Rohit what he does in the ring on a regular basis. So I don't know if you give the belt back to Rohit now since he has his muscle and that causes TJP to lose. I know TJP has been on MLW a lot lately, but I don't know how the taping works for MLW and Impact. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll go with Rahit to pick up the win and get the strap back.
I'll go with Rohit too.
That's who I'm going to go with. I mean, where he was X Division champ a few months ago, he was really great with figuring out creative ways to retain the title. So now that he's got if he's got muscle with him, he might be unstoppable for a little bit.
Yeah.
But Jason will with Rohit because he's a TJP fan.
Anybody that dabs is not my champion. I don't care.
He don't dab no more. That was a WWE thing. That was that.
I seen him left. He was still doing that dumb shit.
All right, we're to go into the Impact World Championship. Champion Rich Swann versus the 50th birthday boy Tommy Dreamer tonight.
Yeah, if you watch Tuesday night, Dreamer 110% sold you on this match. They had a contract signing. Moose came out to interrupt, and Dreamer cut a really good old school pro wrestling promo. And sold you on the match. Whether or not he has enough in the tank to win, don't know. Do I mind that he's getting the title shot? Absolutely not, because it's not a true pay-per-view. It is a special. Rich Swann handpicked Tommy Dreamer for the match. And they're going to go at it. Swann was taking him lightly until Tuesday night when Tommy cut the promo he cut. So you can find that on YouTube somewhere. I would definitely seek it out and listen to it. It was done really well. Sold me on the match, and I don't think Tommy wins. Obviously, Swann's going to keep the belt here. But
do we continue on with Moose though? Does Moose get involved somewhere? Yeah,
he will eventually. Dreamer called him out on Tuesday night and added some shoot brother into his promo. Weaving those lines between reality and just wrestling creative writing. So yeah, Moose will he'll play some type of role in this match. But yeah, Rich Swann to retain.
Absolutely.
Swann is going to retain, yeah, because Tommy Dreamer don't win titles. Not supposed to.
It's funny you said that because Don Callis was on Busted Open this week, and he went on like a 2-minute and 20-second tirade of how Tommy Dreamer is the biggest carny in all of wrestling, and he's going to review his true colors of being just a complete scumbag and the worst human being ever, and show that he's worked us all for the last 25 plus years in the pro wrestling business and turn to the dark side and do something devious to win the belt off of Rich Swann. So yeah, but it was good. So yeah, hey, listen, Impact. They had about 6,000 people on the Twitch stream on Tuesday. They've been averaging probably around since the last pay-per-view. With Omega and the Good Brothers versus Rich Swann and Motor City Machine Guns with Moose because Shelly couldn't go. They've been averaging probably around 7,000 or 8,000 people on Twitch on a weekly basis, and that's with no Kenny Omega. You had Private Party come over, which was a surprise, and that they take on the Good Brothers. Along with Storm and Sabin.
Yeah, that was a surprise that they got added into there.
Yeah, and that I believe that's the last match on the card, right?
That's got to be the main event for the night because that's what everybody's going to want to watch.
Yeah, so they got added in. Storm and Sabin got added in based off of Private Party's interference this past Tuesday. The more added them in to that title match. I think it's to further the storyline between Private Party and the Good Brothers on Impact side of things. But yeah, that'll be a good match, I think. Private Party has a chance to shine in this match if they build it right. So it'll only help make them better if they're the ones that look strong in this match. You have Storm and Sabin who are established, and obviously the Good Brothers are too. So give the shine to the young kids, and then you can work your way off of that.
Yeah, but I don't see titles changing at all. They're going to run with this for a bit.
Yeah, no, the Good Brothers will win either by hook or crook.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll necessarily be a clean win, but they'll definitely keep the straps.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else in wrestling this week?
Just one little thing that I got is so this past week on AEW we saw the women's eliminator tournament kick off with the US side. Starting this Monday on the AEW YouTube channel, you can start watching some of the Japan side of the bracket. This has all been taped ahead of time over in Japan, so they're just going to release the matches on social media over there. I guess I don't know if it's just going to be one a week or how they're going to do it, but I know they've just announced one so far of Aja Kong versus Rin. I'm not even going to try to botch her name, but
yeah, Shivani ran through all the matchups on Dynamite this week, so I don't know if you're going to get. You might get all first round matches this Monday. Like they may do Monday, do each round that way.
Yeah.
On that side of things, Sheeta was in Japan and I guess oversaw and ran the tapings for the side of the bracket. Is what was rumored to be. So
that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I saw a lot of people bitching and moaning because they have to go to YouTube to watch the Japan side of things. But, I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with them doing it that way. Like,
no.
AEW.
That's how you watch Dark, right?
Yeah, I mean, AEW, like, they were born out of social media and YouTube. Like, without BTE, is AEW even a thing? So, like, to me, it makes sense that they would do something like this and put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
they like to utilize their social media more than with getting you to go to watch matches there. They did that with the last women's tournament too.
Yeah.
With the tag one. Yeah.
So, I mean, they put it on Monday night at 7:00 on YouTube. I don't know if it'll be an hour or not. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to tune in on Monday to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be interested for that. MLW this past week, good episode. Leo Rush beat Laredo Kid. So he is now the MLW middleweight champion as well as the AAA, I guess, cruiserweight champion. He's a double champ.
They said it was unification too. So was the AAA title merged into the MLW title?
I don't know. See, I didn't hear that part. So if they are merging it, then that means MLW and AAA are going to be working together more.
Yeah.
So how does that tie?
Oh,
absolutely. I mean, Court Bowers, he's run shows in Mexico with MLW. They've swapped talent a lot, but that adds to the piece of how's that going to play into MLW's relationship with AAA, who has a relationship with AEW?
Yeah.
There's some MLW boys that I'd like to see on a Dynamite show up, and vice versa. You give me Kenny Omega and Jacob Fatu, like I'll take that any day of the week.
Fatu deserves to get some more airtime from somewhere. So,
yep. Absolutely. So MLW this week, good show. They carried on the whole Tim Donaghy disgraced referee gimmick and bit, and it is such a pro wrestling storyline. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Other than that, I don't think I had anything else from World of Wrestling this week. I don't know if anybody else did before we wrap it up. Real quick, one thing. Viewership, 741 AEW, 558 for NXT. NXT is supposedly going to be moving over to Peacock.
Yeah.
That'll kill their viewership.
Yeah.
What they have, that will kill it.
Yeah. Now that they're established on Wednesday, if they wanted to move a different night, I'd be okay with that. But I don't want to see it go back to Peacock and back to the network like it was before.
So if AEW or if NXT does move to Peacock, which means like you could watch it anytime, you don't have to watch it live, right?
Mm-hmm.
With if that's the case and that transition happens, is there any excuse for AEW not to have over 1 million viewers on Wednesday nights by themselves?
No.
Like if they don't draw over 1 million on Wednesday night without having NXT on there in the same time slot going live, then I think you may have to look at things a little bit differently.
I wouldn't say weekly, every week, but I think they would touch it every now and then.
More consistent than what it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that you could maybe get like consistent high nines, but I'm not sure if you could consistently get over 1 million each week with AEW right now.
I would see him going over though, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, something to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
There's that. So, yep, that's it for this week. I don't have nothing else.
Go.
Chug, 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 chug.
All right, folks, this week the week segment is brought to you by alcohol. Problem of some of our problems.
I was wondering if you were going to do it again.
Yeah, I did it again. So this week, we've got a fat kid, an old school movie reference here. We have the Stay Puft Toasted Marshmallow Stout that we will be reviewing this week. This is brought to you by the True Church Brewery or Couch Brewery?
This is Couch Brewery off of Washington Boulevard.
Yep. So local brewery here in the Pittsburgh area. Super excited to try this. It is 6.6% alcohol by volume. It just says a malt beverage with natural and artificial flavors. So love the can.
It's a tall boy.
It is a tall boy, 16 ounces here. So it says it's brewed with real toasted marshmallows. So I'm excited to taste this and see where we're at here.
I think we need to invest in some ice chests.
Some ice chest.
Yeah, to sit right below the desk. Yeah, keep it cool. Nice bucket.
You should fill up that new Yeti tumbler you got with ice and stick the can in that. It'll stay cold.
Yeah. This week I wrapped it in a ice pack, and that seemed to keep it cold while we were on the air.
I'm in the basement, so mine stay cold.
Mine is right on the windowsill.
That's the old school. That's the old school freezer right there. All right, y'all ready?
All right. Yep. Let's face it.
You definitely have. I know, Chris, you're drinking out of a glass. You definitely have that dark colored stout and head on it, like you would with a Guinness or anything else.
It smells like a traditional stout too.
Yeah, definitely. Jay's chasing it with Pepsi on.
I don't say stay or puffed.
You can't put Crystal Light in this.
I like this. It's different. It's definitely different.
Yeah.
I don't know how much toasted marshmallow flavor I'm getting. There's definitely something there though. Like yeah, there's definitely flavoring there for sure. I'm just I don't know if I would describe it as being toasted marshmallow though.
I agree. it's a good traditional stout. You know, like you're getting all the flavors that you would want in a stout. But yeah, for this being, I mean, it's a marshmallow too, so there's not a ton of flavor that you're going to pick up from a marshmallow.
Right. Yeah, it's not like, you know. I know on deck we have a s'mores beer that we're going to be reviewing here coming up from Saranac. So you don't have like the chocolate and graham cracker notes to go along with the marshmallow.
Yeah. So I guess more with this, you're looking for maybe the toasted flavor, picking up from that. So I'm definitely picking up something. You know, I agree. It doesn't necessarily taste like a toasted marshmallow to me, but I'm getting something else in there. But yeah, as a traditional stout, it's good.
Yeah, I don't mind this at all. If I'm out at a brewery and I order this as something to try off the menu, just to try something while sitting there, I wouldn't be disappointed with this selection.
Yeah,
I know Jay's not a real fan of this.
Yeah, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy about stout, but I could taste the marshmallow in it for me, and it's not bad. I could really get down with this.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jay, what do you got? 1 to 5 sumo scales.
I'm gonna give it a 1.
Man, we knew that was coming.
Yeah. Pepsi though, this is a 4.5.
Okay, so speaking of Pepsi, I forgot to bring this one up for our snacks. Did you see Pepsi's coming out with a hot cocoa Pepsi?
Oh Jesus!
So that could have been perfectly paired with this week. And Donald,
I'll give this a 3.75. It's not bad. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll go 3.25 for me. You know, it's your traditional stout. Like there is hints of something there. It's not an overpowering flavor or notes or anything that'll really wow you with anything from that standpoint. But it is, I mean, it's a good drinkable stout.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good stout. I mean, it tastes like an average stout. I'm getting something, but yeah, like I said, it's just not. I'm not really necessarily getting the toasted marshmallow on this, but you know, it's a good drinkable stout, like you said, Steve. I think it's average at best for me, so I'm gonna just do a 2.5.
Okay. All right. Well, there we go. That's our review of the Stay Puft Toasted Marshmallow Stout from the Couch Brewery here in Pittsburgh, PA. If you guys are out, pick it up. Let us know what you think of it. And with that, we ask that you raise your cups, glasses, shots, bottles, cans, brown paper bags, whatever you're drinking out of, and to good ships and wood ships and ships that sail the seas. But the best ships are friendships, and friends will always be. Salute.
Cheers.
All right, this week in sports, folks. I guess really only one thing to say to kick off the week here in sports: Tom effing Brady. Tom Brady wins his 7th Super Bowl. Been to 10, won 7. The game was a complete blowout. I missed hitting the reverse on my block pool. I had 0 and 9 as my numbers. Chiefs with 0, Bucks with 9. It ended up being 1 and 9. So I missed the reverse by 1 digit. There would have won 2,500. So yeah, that about goes how the game went.
Who's the one that picked it?
Yeah, Chris.
Flip flopper.
Yeah, the flip flopper. To me, like I know you give Brady the MVP, his 5th MVP award. It just turns into like whatever quarterback plays the best wins. Like you know, you should have gave the MVP trophy to Todd Bowles or the Bucs defense as a whole, because going into it, I said on the podcast last week, having both starting tackles out and the way Jason Pierre-Paul and Shaq Barrett harassed Aaron Rodgers with his tackles being out, and that I knew that was going to be an issue. I didn't think that it was going to turn out to be where Patrick Mahomes rushes for 497 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It was just a dominating performance, and we've seen this in Super Bowls in the past. Where the best offense goes up against the best defense, and the defense tends to win those matchups. We saw that with the Broncos a couple years ago with Von Miller and them.
The Ravens in 2000.
The Ravens, it's been that case. So Brady went 7. I'm surprised the Chiefs didn't change up the game plan at all. Like, run some double tight ends. Keep chip on those defensive ends. Run some bubble screens, some quick hits, some stuff in the flat, some shallow crosses. They
like run the ball too sometimes.
Yeah, run the ball. They were
doing a good job for a minute.
And then they just stopped.
They stopped. You got away from it. You got to get them to come out of that cover 2 shell. Like they're out there to let you know, hey, you're not going to get behind us. You're not going to beat us deep. Our front 4 are going to win the battle up front. And they didn't do the things they needed to do consistently to get points on the board. It was a little mind-blowing to see that from an Andy Reid offense that no adjustments were made. And I don't want people to hold this against Eric Bieniemy either and say, oh, look how his offense showed up.
You don't call the plays.
It's like, no, that's not the case. Like Tampa Bay on defensive side of the ball absolutely won that game. Todd Bowles, hats off to you. Congratulations to Bruce Arians and the coaching staff there. Having an all minority and women staff. I believe that's the first time it's been done to win the Super Bowl.
It's gotta be.
So yeah, kudos to them.
This gave me appreciation for Patrick Mahomes. Like, I hated all the slurpage going in, but some of them throws that were just dropped.
Oh yeah, there was a ton of drops.
Man, when he was parallel to the ground and made that on point.
Yeah, 130.
This kid gets something.
That was beyond video game level stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
And then to only take 3. What was it? 3 sacks only?
Yeah,
for how much he was running. Yeah.
Pressured. I believe it was 29 times, which was the most in any Super Bowl.
And to only take 3.
And only take 3 sacks. But yeah, they couldn't get in rhythm at all. So, I know, now that Brady won his 7th, people are automatically throwing out there he's the greatest of all time in any sport.
They were doing that before.
No,
I don't know. That's up for debate. What I did see this week out of this was I saw a lot of people throwing out Serena Williams' name as being the GOAT of all time in any sport. And if you look at her, resume, $94 million in cash prize money won, twice as much as any female athlete. 72 world tennis WTA titles, 23 Grand Slam titles, 4 Olympic gold medals. Only person, male or female, to win 3 of 4 Grand Slams 6 times, and has a slam singles title in 3 different decades. I know tennis is an individual sport, and as far as Brady could be considered the greatest team sport athlete of all time, I'd be hard pressed to find somebody else other than Serena Williams to be considered a GOAT. Like,
she's legitimate the GOAT of her sport, if not of sports. You still have debate for Tom Brady.
On a football side or just with
on the football side, you still have a debate if he's the GOAT in football at all.
I think with like individual sports, because it's only on you, it's you to do it. So I see those as like higher tiers for me. So like tennis, golfers, individual swimmers, not on the relays, but individual stuff, because it's all on you. You don't have to rely on anybody but you.
Yeah, I think on the flip side of that, that also makes what Tom Brady's done in the NFL just that much like beyond comprehension. Because you're leading the team. Yeah, in a sport where you're like the NFL is not designed to have one person have this much success. There's so many things that got to go into it to make you successful. You know, your defense got to be good, your offense got to be good. You gotta eliminate injuries. Just so many factors, and for you to get to the Super Bowl 10 times and win 7 of them, you know, whether you want to debate the first, you know, 2 or 3 based off of Spygate, you can.
And division.
Yeah. So like, it's just. I think as I get older, and I'm not saying this because I like Tom Brady now, but I think as I get older and I'm watching some of these individuals in different sports and whether it's singles sport or team sports, I think now I'm just appreciating the greatness more and not so much hating on it.
It's like for me. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, you know. Why hate on LeBron when LeBron's doing what he's done? Like, just appreciate the greatness for what it is.
You can't turn off this hate gene.
It's like I don't like Tom Brady at all, but this title here, I appreciate it more from him than he did in New England. Just probably because I don't like the Patriots all like that. So it was like with a different team altogether. Yeah,
because they bought a team.
Who bought a team? The Bucks?
They bought a team, yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean guaranteed championship, though.
No, it doesn't. We've seen teams like this come together. I mean, the Rams bought a team, but they lost to New England in the Super Bowl.
Vegas bought their team a couple years ago, their inaugural season for hockey, and you know they did well, but they didn't get the championship.
You're buying all-time greats.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
QB.
I mean, they're not great now.
But there's other people that had the salary cap to do what the Bucks did, and they didn't do it. So, like, you know, you can't be mad at them. I mean, having Brady there, you're going to get the great individual talents want to go play with Brady because they know, hey, I have a legit shot to win a ring. Mm-hmm. So whether he plays for a couple more years or not, but you'll see this revolving door in Tampa with, you know, people that are coming that have already made their money. They're coming to the tail end of their career, but they're still productive enough that they can be an asset that are going to go take league minimum money to play with Brady because they got a chance to win a shot, a ship.
Do you think the team stays the same next year, or what changes do you expect?
There'll be changes. You know, Mike Evans, you know, Bruce Arians said Mike Evans came out and said he'll restructure his deal to take less money to keep the team together. I think Godwin is probably going to go get his check. Shaq Barrett's probably going to leave and go get his check. Mm-hmm. Don't know if Ndamukong Suh is going to retire or not. But
yeah, and Gronk are on 1-year deals, so they got to renegotiate if they want to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gronk, AB, Fournette, they're all 1 year. So like, again, it'll be pieces will leave, but other pieces will want to come there that are just as good as what they had. So who knows? They may shock us, and you may get people wanting to take discounts to stay and play with Brady because they won this year, and they can go back and have a legit shot to do it again next year. But it is what it is. So football's done from a game standpoint, but from a news and notes standpoint, this week was heavy with off-season news and notes. Let's just jump right into what affects the Steelers. Marquise Pouncey retires, which is overshadowed by the fact that J.J. Watt gets released from the Texans on the same day, and everybody's calling for J.J. Watt to come to Pittsburgh.
all over the radio yesterday. All over the radio.
All over. I mean, you have legit one of the all-time Steelers to put on a Steelers uniform, retire. Arguably one of the best ever at his position. After a decade-long run, call it quits, and it is overshadowed, which is crazy. But the Steelers, like from a center position, the Steelers are known for great centers. You know, they go, and this goes back to back in the original run. So you went from Ray Mansfield to Mike Webster to Dermontti Dawson to Jeff Hardings to Pouncey. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 centers over that span of time, and they're all legitimate, top centers to ever play. So it's crazy how you can draft so well at one position, and have that be the anchor
and not corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was our last good corner? Like legit last good corner?
That we drafted?
Yeah, Rod.
Ike Taylor. Ike Taylor is probably the last great corner that we.
Oh, Hands?
Huh?
Hands of Stone?
Ike Taylor was one of the best cover corners that you had.
He got exposed as soon as Willie Gay left. Exposed.
So I don't know. Who knows where JJ Watt's going to end up, honestly. He's definitely going to go chase a ring somewhere. Automatically the top 3 teams that I heard yesterday were the Rams, the Bucks, and then the Steelers, obviously because of TJ and Derek being here.
I heard the Packers too.
Packers because Wisconsin played it.
Yeah. And the window for Super Bowl is more open in Pittsburgh.
Chicago was being out there because his wife plays soccer for the team there in Chicago. So that's an option as well. They don't have a quarterback there in Chicago.
Yeah,
but I mean, who knows where he ends up? You saw a lot of talk coming out with Russell Wilson this week with the Seahawks.
Throwing his offensive line under the bus.
Completely under the bus. Like,
man.
I don't know how if you stay on that team, I don't know how you go back into that locker room and expect those guys to put full effort towards blocking for you. So maybe Russ is on the move, which is crazy to think.
I heard rumors saying him to Dallas and Dax go up the thing.
Well, I mean, if you go by the Cowboys hype video they put out, I don't know how you don't have your franchise quarterback in the hype video. The whole hype video should have been about Dak coming back.
Basically.
Like Dr. Foxworth said, you should have started out zoomed in on some cleats. And you scan up, and then bright light from behind, you get a silhouette, and then it just says, Dak is back. Cowboys 21. That's all you needed for that video. That was it. And they somehow botched that. So good on them. I hate the Cowboys. They haven't been relevant since '95, but they walk around puffing their chests out like the greatest thing, the God's green earth. Meanwhile, their franchise has been a laughing stock for 20 plus years.
Their stadium is amazing, but the seats in it are terrible.
We didn't get to see the stadium. We don't even know what the stadium's really like. We walked in and went to our seats.
I also noticed they didn't wish Steelers didn't wish Bud Dupree a happy birthday yesterday.
You know what that means?
Is that something? I see TJ Watt posted, but
yeah, they were saying that. What is it?
They wish everybody happy birthday.
Yeah, they saying Juju is not coming back either.
Yeah, he's rumored to the Jets are like the most team talked out there based off of money wise, but I also saw the Raiders are going to push Raiders. Go back home, he'd be in Vegas and not in
Vegas,
like Oakland or LA. But the NFL offseason this year, I got a feeling it's just going to be it's going to be crazy.
Ben didn't talk to the Steelers yet about anything. They were supposed to meet this week. They didn't.
I don't see how you come back if you're Ben. You have a brand new offensive coordinator. Your center retires. You stated openly and multiple times that you were not going to play
if Juju's not here.
If Marquise retired, so Alty's gone. What is there for you to come back other than you wanting to get another check? Like the whole line got to be rebuilt. It's a whole
the whole thing.
Like,
the whole thing.
I come back for records.
Just records?
Yeah, you hire in the passing yards.
Oh, listen, he's taking the most money every single time he signed the contract. The one time that you can do something right, and call it a career and call it a career. Like, do right. We'll have a shitty year next year with Mason Rudolph as our quarterback, and then we'll draft the quarterback high in the draft the following year.
Or do what Drew Brees did with the Saints. Restructure your contract down to the veterans minimum and help the team out that way.
No.
It didn't. TJ Watt got snubbed out of Defense Player of the Year again.
You guys called that though.
Saw a lot on that.
Oh, everywhere, every post outlet.
I mean, if you go strictly by the numbers, Watt had better numbers than Darnold in one last game, right?
Yeah.
But they played two different
positions. But then again, you can compare Tuitt to thing.
You compare Tuitt to Darnold, and it's like, yeah. So
same numbers in 2 less games.
I mean, like I said, I think TJ Watt should have won it last year, not this year.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, Aaron Donald's one of, if not the greatest defensive player that I've seen in my lifetime. Like, and he's from Penn Hills. He's a local boy. So I'm not gonna shit all over it just because he won.
Mm-hmm.
Some stuff from around the world of sports besides NFL talk. NBA said they're making progress on a plan to incorporate the dunk contest into the halftime show of the All-Star game this year. Why are they even having it?
Yes. Yeah. Why have it? A lot of the top stars said that they don't even want to deal with it.
There's no point.
It's too risky.
Yeah, there's no point at all besides, like, you have to do it because of money.
Fan of the appease the fans too.
It just doesn't. It's like, I don't need to see an All-Star game this year.
No.
Adding the dunk contest into the halftime show is not going to do anything for me. The dunk contest hasn't been relevant in years. Although there's been a couple dunk contests that have been really good. With Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine, and then was it last year's was good too? I think with Aaron Gordon in it as well. He should have won last year.
Because you're no longer getting top competitors in it. You're just getting like guys
people that I don't know about. So yeah, there's that.
Like 3-point contest.
Yeah. Baseball. I saw Donald. You'll enjoy this. The Major League Baseball reportedly informed teams of changes to the baseball itself, which will be in effect for the upcoming season.
Like that's going to make a difference.
Were they doing changing the scene?
So they're reportedly
juicing the ball.
No, they're reportedly deadening the ball.
They're deadening, yeah. So ball will jump off the bat
to get out of this juice ball era, where it's either strike out or home run, because that's literally all baseball is. Strike out or home run. Like, no, heaven forbid somebody slap an opposite field single to move a guy up a base. Like, it's ridiculous.
That's Stanton from the Yankees. He's either striking out or hitting a home run or getting injured. One of the three.
I don't care about baseball. The Pirates have completely ruined me from baseball.
Yeah. And then I saw the thing where they had the Pirates predictions. They were supposed to go 61 and 101 and have less than a % chance of winning. Making the playoffs.
Does anybody know?
Sounds about right.
Does anybody know what the actual over/under is in Vegas or like on Sportsbook for total wins for the Pirates?
No.
And they have a $53 or $58 million thing. Payroll, yeah.
Yeah, their payroll is 4 games.
Their payroll.
But they'll care whenever come in for that fireworks night. That's where all of our fans are coming. Hey. That bobblehead night, here they come.
One of those bobbleheads that's behind you right now.
Best
I don't know what you're talking about.
Is that a Pirate Barry Lamar in the back?
No, that's downstairs.
Oh.
That was the last time I rooted for the Pirates, though. 92. I could pinpoint that.
Garbage, just hot garbage.
And the other thing on baseball too, Pedro Gomez died over the weekend.
Saw that. Unfortunately,
that was during the Super Bowl too.
Yeah, unfortunately died unexpectedly. 57 or 58 years old. Yeah, he was one of the there's certain names that are synonymous with their individual sport that they cover. When you think of baseball, you think of him. You think of like Kirchin, Peter Gammons.
Mhm.
Those are the names that I automatically go to when I think of baseball. So yeah, it's sad news for that. Prayers and thoughts go out to his family for that.
Leon Spinks died over the weekend too.
He's passed away too, a former
Man.
heavyweight champion.
We're just at the age where all of our legends are not Gomez because that was early, but like all of our legends are passing away.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is.
Marty Schottenheimer too.
Yeah, that was
Mhm.
How about the ridiculous bullshit headline that came out with his passing? You see that?
I
I forget what was it, Bleacher Report? I forget what site it was. And don't quote me on that. So if I got it wrong, not to throw Bleacher Report under the bus, but one prominent site, their headline said Marty Schottenheimer, famous former head coach Marty Schottenheimer passed away at 77. His teams were known for collapsing in the playoffs or something like that. Like it was just a complete shot and jab.
Yeah.
It was just completely distasteful and
Yeah, not needed.
No,
uncalled
not at
for
all.
that you would even throw that into a headline when talking about somebody that passed away. Terrible, terrible from that standpoint. So, college basketball getting ready, NCAA tournament to start back up. Brackets going to be wide open this year. Good luck trying to build that
Very
out.
true. Yeah.
Yes.
Are you doing the bubble?
They're doing all the games are going to be played in Indiana somewhere.
In Indianapolis.
Yeah,
all around Indianapolis.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you'll have like almost one big bubble, but it's going to be like 68 different bubbles because that's how many teams qualify.
Yeah.
So it's going to be. I want to see the logistics on this. This is going to be insane.
Hey, if there's any city that can actually pull it off, it is Indianapolis. Like they're known for convention centers and having that type of infrastructure for that. So we'll see if how it comes off in that.
And basketball tradition up there, so they love their basketball, so they'll do it.
And then lastly, sports. The Penguins, dumpster fire they are.
I'm not sure about this.
What is it? One regulation win in the last 12 or 13 games.
Yeah, they dropped to 5th in the East Division this week, so they've been the 4th the past few weeks.
What do you think about the GM and the I guess president hire?
Honestly, when Rutherford was hired a few years ago, I wasn't real crazy about that, but he turned out to be a decent GM. End up building a decent team. So
we got 2 cups out of it.
Yeah. So I'm kind of the same thing with Ron Hextall is going to be the GM and Brian Burke's going to be the president of hockey operations. I'm not crazy about it because I feel like this was very rushed. I don't feel like they took the time to really try to find somebody to be the right fit for this.
They are definitely opposites from one another. Yeah. So I don't know how much that'll clash as far as direction on the team and moves to be made. Hextall, built the Flyers up to what the Flyers are now. Mm-hmm. So I think he will be a good fit and a good hire. It's not going to. I don't think it'll be instantaneous, though. I think you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to make smart trades. You're going to have to build through the draft, which they don't have a lot of draft capital in the next couple of years from the trades that Rutherford made. So we'll see how it works out. But I think Hextall is the right fit. It's just going to take him a little bit of time.
I mean, this is a move that you normally make at the end of the season in the off season. So you have that whole off period to build a team or to try to make some moves. So
that's what happens when your GM steps down 10 games into a season.
So it'll be interesting to see what moves he's interested in making, if anything.
You think they're this guy waiting to win the new hire?
Maybe they did.
You think since it's looked like that Pittsburgh sports is going to be on a downturn with all three pro teams, is it going to be like that time period where like all three teams are just going to be bad?
I don't know. Chris, drop me out for a sec, please.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it could be.
Yeah, it seemed like it because the Pirates ain't ever going to be anything.
Yeah,
and the Steelers look like they're on a downfall coming up.
Yeah,
and the Penguins are there already.
Yeah, they're there right now. So we'll see if he makes any moves. Because they're going to be coming up. With a short season already. They're going to be coming up on deadlines before you know it. So that's got to be his job. In the coming weeks, seeing what moves he wants to make before the deadline.
I heard a lot of talk about Malkin in the trading block,
and that's that was one of the rumors that why Rutherford may have stepped down. I don't think we'll ever know why he did, but that was one of the rumors that he wanted to possibly get rid of Malkin, and they didn't want to.
Then somebody higher up said no, not at all.
Yeah, so we'll see. I think it's time for Malkin to go.
That's one of my favorite players. I'd be sad to see in another worthless jersey.
But it's not like the Penguins are like that. They usually hang on to players. They don't do a lot of turnover if they have faith in a player. And
they did it with Yager, so
But I don't see the Steelers being like dismal. I see them being mediocre, like maybe another 8-8. So there's a little hope.
Yeah, but with the Steelers 8-8 is nothing.
It's
nothing. So Steelers need to be like AFC Championship and up, Super Bowl or bust. That's the way that the history is, the foundation with the city. Mm-hmm.
It'll be a minute before we get back to that era in the Steel City.
Yeah. Like we had that little run there, like in 2008 and all that stuff, it was good. It was some good times, except for that baseball field across the river,
One last thing to touch on tonight, UFC 258, Burns and Usman.
Ooh,
it is going to be a banger. So this is definitely one that I would put money down to watch. Depending on how my day and night goes, I might actually put money down and watch it. Really good main event. Usman, he's not talked about as being one of the greats in all time, but he's coming up on some very impressive numbers here, UFC fight wise. If he wins this fight tonight, and I think it's just because of his personality in that. He's not your brash braggadocious like McGregor type, or you're outspoken like a Colby Covington or Jorge Masvidal. But he is by all means just as good, if not better, than some of those guys in the octagon. And
yes, he is.
This will definitely be one to tune in and watch for sure. So,
yeah. This is.
I don't know if I'm going to put down the money for it, but I'm definitely going to. I usually go on social media, and whenever they show some the highlights and stuff, I'll definitely be keeping an eye on that tonight.
I'll watch it tonight. Not on UFC's down, but I'll watch it tonight.
Don't get caught up on that. Dan White's out there cracking down.
Yeah, they've been trying to crack down a lot. So.
Yeah, we're gonna have you doing this podcast with bars in front of your face. Yeah, but all right, that's all I got for this week in sports. I don't know if anybody got anything else before we jump into final thoughts and the world famous, world renowned One Got to Go.
Let's do it.
Let's hop into it.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to episode 24 of the Dumb Marks podcast.
Hey, Dumb Mark, your transitions were off again. We had no transition into the final thoughts this week.
Yeah, I played. You guys didn't see it?
It was real quick. It wasn't enough time to take a bite of my.
I didn't see it pop up at all. Everybody's microphone. Everybody's showed mute, and then it was just me staring at you three faces.
I played on my end.
I saw it. Yeah, I played on my end.
Such a dumb show.
It's in the
We
name.
don't got, we don't got that WWE production money yet,
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I was going to talk about this later, but we'll just cover real quick. I think it's been real glitchy today, so I don't know what's going on with the internet on my end or on anybody else's, but I've noticed a lot of glitches.
It's been good for me coming across.
Well, hopefully people are still tuned in and listening. If not, oh well, we're just shooting the shit between the four of us. So
Exactly. All right, guys. Remember that we're live every Saturday at 11 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So please subscribe, like, and follow our social media pages so you get alerts each week when we do go live. Our audio-only edition of the podcast is released every Monday, so you can listen on demand on all your favorite podcast platforms. Subscribe to our social media pages of Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at DumbMarksPod, or you can also message us during the show while you watch live and email at dumbmarkspod@gmail.com. Shall we get into One Gotta Go?
Before that, final thought for me. We heard, at least I heard from some of you guys out there that listen to the show in regards to when will we have some merch available for the folks that listen to the podcast here. We appreciate you guys reaching out to that. We are looking into our options, and hopefully we will have something to announce here in upcoming weeks as far as merchandise, where you can go and how you can purchase and support the show from that standpoint, from a merch standpoint. So appreciate you guys reaching out to us for that. We will definitely get that announcement out to you once we finalize all those details and get that for you as well. And again, we thank you guys. We're just four dumb marks sitting on a podcast every week, bullshit with each other, and hopefully you guys are entertained while you come in and listen. Shout out to everybody that does, especially our people over there in India. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in, downloading the podcast. That is about besides the U.S. our Indian army, so to speak, comes in, shows out, and downloads the show each and every week. So we appreciate you guys. Don't know why, but we love you for it. We'll continue to give you guys what you like from that. So that was just my final thought on that standpoint before we jump into One Gotta Go, and I drop kick my laptop because Donald says something stupid again. Oh gee. First off, I don't even know how these four correlate to each other.
I think it's supposed to just be like heroes. I think that's what this is supposed to be.
But all right, this is debatable. I'm gonna say you got to go for picking this card because this card makes no sense. Mufasa, Optimus Prime, Leonidas, Captain America.
You want to start us off?
Stupid.
Okay, I'll go. I know who Leonidas is. What movie was it?
300.
Gotta go. Never watched it.
Are you kidding me? You've never seen 300?
I've never seen. Nah. Gotta go.
Hating someone different this week.
Yeah.
I'm right out the gate. Yeah, absolutely. This is.
There's somebody else you'd pick other than Leonidas?
Donald, go ahead.
Nobody's picking Mufasa. Come on.
What?
Nobody's picking Captain America.
Donald, who you got? Because
hold on, we're taking the death? Or what are we taking?
Go ahead, Donald. What do you got before I?
No, you gotta explain this because it's one gotta go. Is it the person or is it the death?
I think it's the person.
The person?
I
Leonidas can still go.
Oh man. Okay, for me, I know I'm gonna get shitted on for this again too. But as a kid, I always liked the bad guys. I never liked the good guys for some reason. I
go with Optimus Prime. Like,
I don't know why.
With Optimus Prime.
But Mufasa got to stay. That was inspiration.
Oh, that's who I thought you were killing off there for a second.
Captain America.
Mufasa, you're off the show completely.
Captain America got to stay. even though 300 was a good movie in that, we'll see. Leonidas got to stay. Optimus Prime. I hate Optimus Prime. I was always a Megatron fan. Optimus Prime, got to go. Gotta go. He came back too many times for me in the show. Nah, once you get killed by Megatron one time, it's over. Get your 18 rig out of here.
Chris?
So, I hated 300. It was a terrible movie. It was a bad plan. Leonidas, gotta go. I'm not killing. I'm not taking out Captain or Mufasa.
So I think Steve might be the one to boil everybody's blood this week.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's pick.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm shit on all your picks, and I'm gonna be the complete contrarian here. Mufasa gotta go. Mufasa got to go. Mufasa. He died. He's not even the main character in the movie. It's all about Simba and Simba's rise to get on the throne. Mufasa, out the door.
Optimus Prime died too.
You know you're killing off James Earl Jones, right?
Optimus Prime died. Optimus Prime died also, and then they gave the Prime to Rodimus. The Hot Rod, but Optimus came back
First
like
off,
Logan.
like I said, Chris got to go because this was the most stupidest card put together. These four have no correlation to each other. The only reason why I said Mufasa out of this pairing is because Optimus Prime, Leonidas, Captain America, those are all like leaders or generals of
a pride, leader of a pride
of their faction or whatever. Mufasa died. He died 15 minutes into the movie, and it was all about Simba.
It was all.
And then you saw Mufasa's ghost rolling on the clouds, right? And then Simba came back to take over Pride Rock. Like,
but did you cry though?
No, I didn't cry. I did not. I'll admit to it. Like when I cried, like, okay,
tough guy over here.
No, I did not cry when Mufasa died. When Bigfoot's mom died in Land Before Time, that got me. I got that right.
Yeah.
And this is coming from somebody whose dad passed away whenever I was 9. So like, the correlations between me and Simba and Mufasa are right there. Like they're parallel, right? But at the same time, out of these four, Mufasa wasn't even a main character. He died. He's out.
Wasn't a main character.
He died. He died. Simba. It's all about Simba.
He was the reason behind the main character. The driving force.
I think all of our blood pressure is boiling today.
My head hurts from being enough. Like,
and for anybody else listening and want to comment and shoot comments and whatever else and say that I'm wrong for Mufasa, you try to make sense of these four being together and who and why you're picking who.
We'll give you his direct Twitter handle.
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can find me. I'm not hard to get out there. You can find the show directly. Doesn't matter.
You give me a pressure headache.
No.
Oh man.
Wasn't Rafiki getting excited because Mufasa was alive? It was because Simba was alive.
Because he said Mufasa was always still alive.
Mufasa didn't come back and beat Scar to take over Pride Rock. Simba did.
When he said, "I know your father," that didn't hit you?
No, I had people tell me all the time growing up, I knew your father. It was like, all right, thanks. You got any cool stories? Like what? Awesome. I appreciate it. Thanks.
This took a turn.
Now, how am I supposed to give an inspirational quote?
You killed off Mufasa. You can't. Chris, give us an inspirational quote.
Just wrap it up, Simba. Just wrap it up.
There we go. Everyone wants to be the sun to brighten up someone's life.
Okay.
But why not be the moon to shine on someone's darkest hour? I am your moon. I am shining on your darkest hour right now, Jay. I'm being your light and your inspiration. And with that, until next time, catch us around the way.
Seth Rollins over here.